What up, YouTube? Today's video, I want to talk about reality is stranger than fiction. Now, that title coincides with exactly what I'm about to talk about. Now, I also want to give my reaction to the movie Pet Cemetery. Now, Stephen King, one of the best authors in the world, you know, did a movie called Pet Cemetery, right? Based off the novel that he wrote. And then he had a movie Pet Cemetery 2 based off another novel that he wrote. Now, I say reality is stranger than fiction because in this movie Pet Cemetery, the neighborhood that they live in, it has an old cemetery that is used for pets or whatever, right? Now, neighborhood looks kind of weird, what I'm saying, all old and, rugged looking. Now, a lot of people over there, you know, seems all kind of crazy, or that's what people would think that they crazy, right? But like I said before, you can't judge nobody because everybody has a story. You don't know what a person been through. Now listen, in this movie, they say the pet cemetery, nobody should go in there, right? But beyond the pet cemetery is an old Indian burial ground that the Indians abandoned because the soil went sour. Now, reality is stranger than fiction because in this movie Pet Cemetery, if you bury a dead animal or a dead friend or relative, they come back to life. Now, the same person that you buried in there is not the same person that comes back. Real talk. Now listen, the weird part about this movie is that they telling you that spirits exist and demons exist, right? Now, I'm not finna go full fledged in detail about the movie, blah blah blah. I'm watching Pet Cemetery 2 right now. As we speak, I got like 22 minutes left. Now, listen, I just want to make a couple points. Now, in this movie, Pet Cemetery, uh, the guy, he's a doctor or whatever, right? And his wife, I don't know what she is, but they meet this old man. I forgot his name, but he tries to like hint to them like you don't want to go there, blah blah blah. Then they cat end up getting killed, hit by a car, hit by a truck. They end up burying the cat. The come back cat comes back to life, and they like, what the fuck? How is this possible? Then the little baby in Pet Cemetery 1 gets hit by a truck. I think his name is Gage Creed. I think the little baby. So the dad is so hurt that he buries his 1-year-old son, I'll say, because the baby is a real little baby. He buries his son in the old ancient burial ground that's past the pet cemetery. And the Indians abandoned, like I said, because the soil went sour. Now, when he buries his son, matter of fact, I'm going off track. Actually, he buried his son at a regular funeral. Then he got so sick because he seen the things that was going on around him. That's why I say Dave Chappelle said this the best. You can't call nobody crazy. That's dismissive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe their environment is just a little sick. The neighborhood they live in, their environment is a little sick. So the things that they see, they adapt to it. You know what I'm saying? So he keeps seeing all these animals and all these relatives and shit come back to life, right? You know, because this other guy who got hit by a truck, his head split open and shit. He's a spirit walking around talking to the guy. You know what I'm saying? Who buried his son? I forgot his name. He's talking to the guy and shit. You see what I'm saying? I think his name Lewis. I think Lewis Creed, if I'm not mistaken. And he see the guy die on the hospital bed, and the guy talks to him and say, "Yeah, I know your name, blah blah blah." He like, "What the fuck?" So as he keeps seeing people come back from the dead and shit, it makes him a little sick. So he digs up his son, and he buries him in the old ancient Indian burial ground, right? And he knows his son's gonna come back to life. And it's just like reality is stranger than fiction because a lot of people think that spirits and things like this don't exist. But like I always say, Stephen King, right? He obviously had to see something like this or experience something like this to be able to make a movie and write a book that hits on these spiritual topics so fucking vividly. Like, that's why I say reality is stranger than fiction because you don't know what's out here in this world. You know, the guy, he gets so sick that he starts to bury everybody that dies so they could come back to life. But really, it's not the same person that they buried. You see what I'm saying? Now, my reaction to the movie is the shit is fucking crazy. I think it's a good movie, but at the same time, it's a little sick because it's a good movie because they're trying to tell people and warn people that these things can occur. A lot of people like to say, I don't believe in this, so it doesn't make it real. And I always like to say, just because you don't believe in something don't mean it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Who are you to say something's not real? How can this guy write a novel about a pet cemetery, people, loved ones dying, being buried, and coming back to life? Those are spirits, those are demons, okay? I'm trying to tell people that this stuff does exist. So you need to know that reality is stranger than fiction, right? See what I'm saying? So if you hear somebody talk about a ghost story, or you hear somebody, or you see somebody, you might think they crazy. Oh, don't talk to old man Jenkins. He's a fucking psycho. Maybe reality is stranger than fiction. You see what I'm saying? You don't know what he done seen. That's what people gotta understand. So I was just trying to let y'all know, give y'all a little hint to warn is that these movies out here nowadays are really telling you what's going on. Like I say, you might be talking to a human. The whole time that's a bug. Or, you know what I'm saying? Your dog could actually be a centipede or some shit. You know, I'm just giving you an example to let you know that this shit is real. It's actual spirits out here. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about Pet Cemetery that really sparked my mind about the dead coming back to life is that they really do that. They can really bring somebody dead back to life. I know y'all might say, how is that possible? But like I said, I'm not a scientist, but it's something about reanimating cells. You know what I'm saying? Like having their cells come back to life, but they still dead. You know what I'm saying? Like the neurons in their brain is still running. It's like a whole bunch of weird shit. But I'll just let y'all know, man. This shit is real. Don't ever try to judge nobody just because how they look, how they act, or something. You don't know what they done been through. You don't know what they done seen. It's like with this Pet Cemetery movie. They environment was so sick that it started to make them sick. You see what I'm saying? And at the end of the movie, Lewis, his wife got killed by the baby, by his son, Gage Creed. When he had buried him, he came back to life. He had stabbed up his wife, which is his mother or whatever. And Lewis Creed was so sick that he was like, I want to bury my wife so she can come back to life. You see, a lot of people make jokes about that, but really they don't know that his environment made him a little sick because he adapted to that. You see what I'm saying? These spirits out here are real. I just want to let you know that. And if you never seen the movie Pet Cemetery, go look it up. It's a real, real deep movie talking about some real spiritual shit, man. Real talk, man. Wake the damn up, like, share, and subscribe.